Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a filing from IDACORP, and let's just say their annual meeting might have had a few surprises. No boardroom brawls or anything, but definitely some interesting votes. This report gives us the results from IDACORP's yearly shareholder meeting. We're going to look at who got elected to the board, how people voted on executive pay, and a few other key decisions. It's basically a peek behind the curtain of how the company is run. If you appreciate getting the inside scoop on corporate happenings, make sure to subscribe. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Come join the conversation. Okay, let's start with the basics. This filing is all about what happened at IDACORP's shareholder meeting in May of 2025. At the meeting, shareholders, which are people who own part of the company, got to vote on some important issues. These included electing the people who sit on the board of directors, giving an opinion on how much the top executives are paid, and approving a plan for how employees get bonuses and stock options. First up, the election of directors. Shareholders got to vote on who they wanted to represent them on the board. Think of the board as the group of people who are in charge of making sure the company is run well. The report lists each person who was nominated, how many votes they got for them, how many people withheld their vote, meaning they didn't vote for or against, and broker non-votes, which are votes that brokers holding shares for clients don't cast. Looking at the numbers, Odette C. Bolano got about 43.2 million votes in favour, with about 948,000 withheld, and about 3.7 million broker non-votes. Everyone who was nominated got elected. The report notes that Michael J. Kennedy is a new addition to the board. All the other nominees were already board members. It also mentions that everyone on IDACORP has board is also on the board of Idaho Power Company. This makes sense because Idaho Power is the main part of IDACORP. Next, there was a vote on executive compensation. This is like a report card on how much the top executives are paid. Shareholders got to give their opinion on whether they thought the executives were being paid fairly. It's an advisory vote. So the company doesn't have to do what the shareholders say, but it's a good way to see if shareholders say, but it's a good way to see if shareholders are happy with the company's leadership. In this case, about 40.7 million votes were cast in favour, about 3.2 million against, and about 95,000 abstained, meaning they didn't vote either way. There were also about 3.7 million broker non-votes. The shareholders also voted on the IDACORP Inc. 2000 long-term incentive and compensation plan. This plan is how IDACORP gives its employees bonuses, stock options, and other rewards. The company wanted to add 1.1 million more shares to the plan. Shareholders had to vote to approve this increase. About 42 million votes were cast in favour, about 1.9 million against, and about 8,000 abstained. Again, about 3.7 million broker non-votes were present. Finally, shareholders voted to approve Deloitte and Touche as the company's independent auditor for the year. An auditor is like a financial detective. They check the company's books to make sure everything is accurate and honest. It's important to have an independent auditor so that investors can trust the company's financial statements. In this vote, about 46.2 million votes were cast in favour, about 1.6 million against, and about 79,000 abstained. There were no broker non-votes for this proposal. Now, looking at this filing as a whole, it seems like IDACORP's shareholder meeting went pretty smoothly. All the directors were elected, and the proposals on executive pay, the compensation plan, and the auditor were all approved. One thing that stands out is the number of broker non-votes in the director elections, the vote on executive compensation, and the vote on the compensation plan. These votes aren't counted as yes or no votes, so they don't directly affect the outcome, but they do show that a significant number of shares weren't voted on these issues. This could be because some shareholders don't feel strongly about these issues, or it could be because they didn't have enough information to make a decision. Overall, this report gives us a good look at how IDACORP is governed and what its shareholders think about the company's direction. Alright, that's our breakdown of IDACORP's latest filing. What's your take on these votes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.